Hey, this is Kaloc. Welcome back to Kaloc Plays in part 33 of Final Fantasy 16. The final episode. The ending. This is it, peoples. The final boss. Stick around at the end of the episode as I will do a full review of the game and give my thoughts on several aspects of the game, along with some praise and criticism. Let's review part 32 real quick and get to this ending. Part 32 starts on the other side of that portal we got sucked into. Clive, Joshua, and Torgal make their way through a twisted realm of Squid Game stairways and some e-learning exercises to discover the truth about the Blight and the planet as Professor Ultima teaches the history lessons. Ultima grows tired of handing out lessons and decides to hand out ass whoopings instead, and the fight starts just 15 minutes into the episode. I make quite a few mistakes during this fight. Shocker. And die multiple times from not paying attention, which turned out to be the deadliest enemy in this game for me. We kill Ultima, but as always, he's not dead, and he gets inside Clive's head to try to sap his will, but Joshua's too smart for that tomfoolery and counters with some Jedi mind tricks of his own. He pulls Clive back to reality just in time to catch a portal out of Ultima's weirdo realm. Then Ultima creates a floating island in the sky wrapped in a crystal cocoon, and Clive and the gang fall back to the Enterprise and go home to the hideaway. Part 33 will pick it up at the hideaway with Clive making arrangements for the final encounter. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you are entertained, click the notification bell if you want to remain entertained, and smash that like button for the cause. I appreciate everyone that supports my channel. You're all final boss level and amazing to me. Remember to stick around for my thoughts on the game while the credits roll, and to see a bonus clip at the end of the credits. Part 33 and the final boss fight. The ending. Let's get it. Aye. Game-san. Let's do it. Oh. Alright. I guess we're going to find out if this is the final part or not. I don't know anymore. We'll see.
While you're at it, Clive, if you see me dad up there, tell him we were right to leave his legacy with you.
Tell him he'll be in the front row. There's no way he'd miss this. Well, behave yourself, Mid.
We'll see.
So, you're in charge now, Gav.
And what does Taya have to say about that? Come back before she finds out, eh?
Thank you, Yote. I'm sorry.
Your Grace, I shall pray for your safe return.
That's kind of you. But you should pray he took his medicine. I didn't spend all night grinding herbs for his lordship to leave them on his nightstand. Again.
You needn't fear, Lady Taya. And thank you.
See that your brother comes back in one piece. Or, at most, two. Any more and you can heal him yourself.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, there's nothing to say that hasn't already been said. But that's never stopped me before, so just you do what needs doing. Yeah, and don't worry about us.
We'll do our best, Uncle.
That'll be well. If that is all,
quite. Jill,
It's time, isn't it?
it is. Take care of him. And you. You take care of her too, boy.
I would have removed that accessory if I'd known he wasn't coming.
Don't forget, Clive. We all choose our own path. Believe in yours. I do.
I'll be back. I promise. I love you, Jill.
I know. I love you too.
Now, we have a god to kill.
Here they come! Hold on, Joshua! Already am! To make us a way in.
So, this is Origin.
A far cry from heaven.
Where it all began, where it all begins, our arc, your architect.
There you are.
It was here that we slumbered, here that we waited for centuries, clinging to our decrepit shell, for fear that we might have need of it once again. But you have come at last. And now we shall be truly complete.
Well? There's 3 of us, and 1 of him. Let's make it count.
Dominance. We will show you what it means to suffer.
Sure. Okay.
Had you only surrendered, this unpleasantness could have been avoided. We have you.
Go! Save your brother! I ask not for acceptance. Only forgiveness! Now, Father, it is done. Clive! Clive! No! Joshua. Thank the Founder. Did I mention you look terrible? That makes two of us. Oh, I'll be all right. Dion. Take my hand. No, I told you, I'll be... Come on.
Thank you.
Press on.
Always.
I'm sorry about Dion.
Don't be. Please. He did what he had to do.
And it's time we did the same. Should we stop?
Because of the cough. No, I think we're past that, Clive.
I suppose we are.
That light, so cold, so empty. We're close, aren't we?
It seems that way. But I don't want to think what could be waiting for us in there.
Then think instead of those waiting for us at home. Clive.
They can't be.
But they are. This is the Nexus. A wellspring of life. Yours and ours. As we watch the world stumble slowly to its dark end, it was here we pledged a new beginning. And now, with the aether we have harvested, I shall raise my kin from their eternal slumber. That together we may usher in a new age of reason.
This was never about creation. Only self-preservation. You condemned an entire world so that you alone might escape death.
Alone. Him. Alone. Clive. I think I understand. He...
They sacrificed their flesh to become beating hearts of crystal that pumped the land's lifeblood from the depths of the earth unto this very chamber, and thus would they labor still, long after their work was done, had you not set them free.
You meant for us to destroy the Mothercrystals. It's what you wanted all along.
You have our gratitude, Mythos. In this you have served us well. You have both served us well. Welcome home, brother.
Joshua.
I thought it was me, but it wasn't my grasp that grew weaker. It was theirs that grew stronger.
Joshua! No!
And now we can become one.
Clive.
Don't speak.
The one possessed of the destructive flames of Ifrit and the healing flames of the Phoenix. This, I once believed, would be Ultima's true form. But I was wrong. I see it now. Why you will never become Ultima's vessel.
Hold on.
Listen to me, Clive. You remember the murals? People once knew that Ultima was their god. That he created them. And they worshipped him, prayed to him, looked to him for guidance.
In vain.
In vain. For he did not listen, did not acknowledge our will, and so we strayed from his path to forge one of our own. So absorbed was he in his own desires, so driven by his own will alone, that he shunned the one thing that could have made him truly powerful. Faith. The same faith people now place in you. Faith that you will fulfill their dream, Sid's dream, of creating a better world for us. Faith that you will follow in Father's footsteps and save those who need saving most. Faith that you will answer Jill's plea to save yourself. The difference is, Clive, that you chose to listen, and that is what has steeled our bonds. Bonds that helped you stand firm when Ultima's pull was at its strongest. His power may be absolute, but so is ours. And so will yours be. With my light in your heart, not even a god might stop us.
Joshua! Don't do it, you'll...
Enough, Clive. My body is too far gone. If the wound does not take me, the curse will. always been proud to call you my shield. But now, it is the world that needs you. Thank you, Clive, for being my brother.
Look at me, Joshua. Open your eyes! Open your eyes, Damien! Why did you do this? Joshua. Joshua!
And thus does the final piece fall into place. The incantation primed, but one task remains. To empty the vessel.
Still here. With me to the end.
Even now, you would deny the inevitable.
That's what you always have. And always will. On this, my sword, I swear, to shield the Firebird's flame forevermore.
It's probably not going to let me change anything, because combat's already started.
Slow. Too slow.
You know nothing of magic. Brave. Countless centuries have I waited for this moment. This moment in which I might revel in my creation, only to find it profaned, and so it must be cleansed. Unexpected. How is it that your will yet endures?
Because it's not so easily broken.
But it can be broken. And I shall see it so. For such is my will.
Try it.
force feeds these flames. I sense more here than mere will. Is this Logos? Have you truly become free? No, I forbid it. You are not a god. You are but flesh and bone. You are not one of us. I created you, all of you. And what is mine is mine to destroy.
Once, perhaps. But we are no longer yours. Our flames are our own, and they burn as one!
Have you learned nothing? Damned is the slave who will turn the scourge upon his master! consumed mine.
Let's get it, come on.
How is this possible?
Let's do it. We did it.
No. My will is inviolable. Something is wrong.
You're afraid. You always have been. From the moment the Blight exposed what you were, weak, you conceived us to prove otherwise. But the result shook you to the core. For in us you saw yourself, and realized we had the potential to be more than you could ever be. And so you turned your back on your creation. Your back on the world, like the coward you are.
You think you know me? You know nothing, Logos. Nothing.
Yeah. I should have known. Not done yet. Oh, Kama-san. Let's do it.
Bathed in light, I stand above you, my rebirth complete. And you, for your defiance, shall pay the proper price. An eternity of anguish.
Anguish. Pain. Suffering. You have known none of these. But we have. So we know what they grant. They bring us together. And that makes us strong.
Thunder roar!
Too slow. slow.
Let the tempest rage.
Too slow. Nice try.
I will crush you.
To me, flames!
I messed up on that one Shiva ability.
Gale unrelenting.
Away, Clive!
Earth unyielding.
Titan!
Talk to the hand. Whoa, dozen fists.
You cannot have this power. It is not yours to take.
Nice try. Nice try. Too slow. Nice try. Nice try. Nice try.
Mine is the altar at which you pray. Mine are the eyes that look down upon you all!
And yet still you cannot see. You are no better than us. We are one and the same.
We are not the same! No man will stand beside me! None! Witness my creation! soon.
My last elixir went. Yeah, I used my last elixir. It brought me back to life when I died right there. Glad it worked.
So sure of your place atop the world, you refuse to acknowledge those below. You chose to remain alone. And so you shunned the one thing that could have made you stronger. Pushed away the hands that could have raised you higher.
I do not need you, you or anyone.
And that is where we are different. I could not have made it here on my own. I carry with me the hopes and dreams of my brothers, my sisters. And it is they who will give me the strength to end your reign.
I cannot end. I am the end.
The only fantasy here is yours. And we shall be its final witness. I said... it's over!
Okay. We'll see if it's actually over.
Tell me, what do you imagine will befall this world now that you have gained your precious freedom?
I honestly don't know. And I doubt it will be pretty. A sorry tale of sin and suffering, hardship and pain.
And it was for this that you fought so fiercely? Why?
It's who we are. We fight. We survive. We endure. We don't need a reason. We are imperfect creatures. When we stumble, we reach for a shoulder to lean on. When we fall, we stand back up. We see the horizon, ever out of reach, and still we march on. Certain the answers lie just beyond it. Because that is our way.
My congratulations. Relish this victory, knowing that you have but delayed the inevitable. Your world is already dead. May you enjoy an eternity on its blackened husk.
seems Ultima's power was too great for this vessel all along. But while I have it, perhaps I can use it to set things right. And see Ultima's legacy. Bearers, dominance, crystals, magic, consigned to the flames. Even if it means the end of me. These are our terms.
You're the most beautiful thing.
He is, isn't he?
What are you gonna call him?
Let me see, let me see. Ah, read little one. Got a smile for your Uncle Gav.
Not so loud, you burp.
What? I was only... Shh.
You're scaring him. It's all right.
Oh.
A sky of scattered tears, 1,000 years apart. Should they fade, I will not be afraid of the dark.
If you need a rest, I can take him.
And
hold you to that.
The world's yours now. Yours to do with as you please. That's what Sid wanted. That's what they both wanted.
And thus did our journey end.
Well, there you have it. Final Fantasy 16 full gameplay walkthrough. What did you make of that ending? Put your thoughts in the comments. I'll give my thoughts on the ending shortly, but I want to go over a few of the gameplay mechanics and concepts in the game first. The storyline for Final Fantasy 16 is one of the best ones that I've ever played. Easily top 3 in my book without putting much thought into it. The characters were engaging and memorable. I never struggled to remember any of the main characters' names, as well as most of the side characters that had lesser roles in the game. The story was just very well written and portrayed in the game from beginning to end. The graphics were good as expected, character animation was good, a lot of the typical Final Fantasy movements and animations from mobs, no complaints about the graphics. I made the mistake of reading some reviews about this game before I played it. A lot of them said the game had too much cinematic and cutscene and not enough gameplay. Well, the game does have a lot of cinematics, but I don't think it's too much, all things considered. The game took me about 30-35 hours to complete. If anyone does the side quests and spends time building their character by maxing out their abilities, they would spend considerably more time playing the game. The total amount of time spent watching cinematics is the same no matter how you play the game. There is a total of 11 hours of cinematics in Final Fantasy 16. 11 hours of a 30-plus hour game is not bad. It's probably more than most games, but that's the direction Final Fantasy is moving, apparently. I don't find it overbearing, and I didn't feel like it broke the flow of the game at any point. Players are getting 20-plus hours of gameplay from this game, which is still pretty good. The soundtrack was decent, a lot of epic music during epic events and boss fights. There were a few instances where the music felt out of place or just a bit random for the situation. I got the Matrix and Pirates of the Caribbean vibes a couple of times, but overall the soundtrack was really good and improved the experience during the game as well as the biggest fights. Let's see, gameplay, mechanics, and features. Character creation. There was no character creation, just a small amount of customization, as in 4 characters had one alternate outfit. That whole feature just felt like an intern at Square Enix got bored one day and drew it up on their napkin at lunch. Daryl Dixon once said, if you're going to do a thing, might as well do it right. That would apply to this. This is just one of a couple of game mechanics or features that appeared later in the game that felt like it was rushed in at the last second and not really finished. The other being the wall of memories that never gained more than one memory throughout the entire game. And the Ifrit stone had a section above the character appearance section that always showed question marks. It never unlocked. I have no idea what that was for. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the combat mechanics for a hot minute because I feel like it wasn't horrible, but could have been better. The actual abilities themselves were fine. Each individual ability was perfectly fine on its own. The animations were good. The damage was decent for most of them. Some could have used a bit of tweaking. Odin. But overall, they were fine. The complaint I have is about the combat system as a whole and how it was delivered to the player. I feel like the combat in this game really got good once I got my 3rd Eikon powers, which gave me a larger range of action to choose from and made combat feel more fluid. With that said, it wasn't until I got basically all of the Eikons that I was able to start actually developing my own combat style, and by that time the game was almost over. I would like to have had more options from the start and just have their potency increased or new abilities added as I went. I also would have used my ability points much differently had I known what it meant to master abilities. I upgraded an ability or two and saw no improvement in damage or added benefit, so this dissuaded me from further upgrading, which hindered my character in the long run, not to the point I couldn't play the game, but I guarantee my combat abilities would have been much different if I'd known how the upgrades worked from the start. I wouldn't have gone around and farmed more AP, but I would have spent the AP I got much differently than I did, and I would have built my character's personal combat system to fit my style. When you play an MMO, you pick your character. There's plenty of information about that character and what it can do presented to you before you choose it, allowing you to make a well-informed decision about the character you choose. Just a couple of thumbnails provided on or to the players on the abilities tab would have made a world of change in decision making for this game. I feel. That's my opinion. In the end, the combat system felt pretty good. The abilities I did end up using looked good, felt fluid, and seemed fairly balanced. It was a far cry from combat at the start of the game where I had nothing more than a melee attack, a magic attack, and one icon to choose from. Overall, the combat system was decent and fun to play. It just took too long to get fully involved and offered little to no instruction about seemingly important features. As far as the icons go, I have always enjoyed being able to summon them, watch their animations as they are called upon, and watch as they annihilate the enemies in front of them with 1 or 2 spell casts that deal massive damage. The design they had in this game was less interesting for me. I didn't feel connected to the icons. The battles to obtain the icons was less of a rush because I wasn't actually gaining the summoning of the icon, but rather some of its abilities. And instead of teaming up with them through most of the game was spent fighting against them. I wasn't a fan of it, but it works for this game, I guess. I've come to expect a complete redesign of the icons or summons or eidolons or whatever they're called from game to game. They have never been a consistent concept, and some games I like and some of them I don't. That's just how it goes. Every Final Fantasy game is a standalone game. There's no continuation of anything, so they're all different. Loot system. Okay, let's discuss this loot system and the gear and equipment. I don't even know where to start with this one. The loot system in this game was not encouraging at all. Crafting materials is not adequate loot for the entirety of a game. At some point, the player wants and needs to find new equipment that is better than their own, if only to feel a sense of accomplishment in defeating a foe of value or finding an elusive chest with valuables in it. This idea of rewarding nothing but crafting materials and then offering the player a linear crafting list where they can't decide what to craft but instead must craft the one item that is available at any given time was just a poor decision by Square Enix. Also, the items I could craft were also available at the vendor at a lower quality with slightly reduced stats. If I knew going into this how the whole loot and crafting system worked, I would have sold all my looted crafting materials and bought the Great Value brand gear and banked a ton of gil that I would never be able to spend because much like the loot system, there was nothing in place to purchase with gil other than consumables and highly overpriced records for the jukebox. I have no doubts that this game can be completed just as easily with all the vendor bought gear as the stats are not that far off from their crafted counterparts. How about we work together to fix 2 broken features and allow me to use my excessive gil collection to purchase from a long and varied list of new outfits and weapon appearances. Ta-da! I realized early in the game that all loot drops were just going to be crafting materials, and once I realized that, killing bosses and finding loot chests lost their thrill. There was no anxiety or excitement after a kill, waiting for that spoil screen to display the rewards. The gear and equipment system wasn't much better. It would have been nice to have more gear than just a weapon, a bracelet, and a belt. And it could have offered a fix to the broken loot system as well. As good as this game was, I feel like they really missed the mark in this area, and it's a big part of the game. Limited loot, limited crafting plans, limited gear, and limited abilities. The whole system is linear and forces a predictable and similar game experience for everyone. Offer different weapon types and more gear slots to fill, and adjust loot tables to include weapons and gear for all slots. Also, designing an item level for gear and equipment could add an element of personalization for players and give them options to either improve an item or get a new one. Easier said than done, I'm sure, but other games do it. I know it can be done. Also, that super gross looking onion sword should never have been forced on me. Someone created that sword and they were so proud of it that they made it 3 times better than any other weapon. I put it in the game before character appearances were available, so its appearance couldn't be changed. You gotta read the room. Nobody was impressed with that Acme color swath sword. It didn't fit the theme of the game and takes place in the Dark Ages. Overall impression of the loot and gearing systems, very lazily thrown together and poorly implemented. It gets a big super sucky rating from me. Boss encounters. Let's discuss some of the boss fights for a minute. The boss encounters were all pretty good. Some more than others, but all in all, I felt like the boss fights, as well as some of the mini bosses, were all pretty exciting and fun. Obviously, the final boss fight was super epic, but let's not forget that we got a second final boss fight in this game with the second Titan encounter. Both of those fights were amazing. Epic soundtracks, visuals, and boss animations. Their scale was unending. They were both really fun and exciting boss fights. So which one was better? Well, I think it's close, but the Ultima fight was probably the more difficult encounter. It had more elements and dimensions to it, and I think it was more entertaining in the end. The Odin encounter was also good, as were the encounters with Benedicta and Garuda. The final boss encounter with Ultima, I felt was perfectly scripted with a healthy mix of cinematics and gameplay to fill in the voids in the storyline that were missing and bring the entire game together in the end. A lot of open areas and questions in the storyline were answered during that fight. Overall, I was very pleased with all of the boss fights. They were epic and fun and everything I've come to expect from Final Fantasy games. Top notch. As far as the ending goes, I feel the story had good closure on all characters as far as I can remember. Every main allied character got at least a small send-off at the end, I think. I can't think of anything offhand that wasn't covered by the end of the game, so there was good closure to the storyline and characters. The ending sequence shows Clive on the beach after battling Ultima. After the fight, he said Ultima's power was too much for this vessel, and then he used that power to destroy the last remaining crystal, even if it would kill him. While on the beach, he appears to summon the last bit of magic he has, and then his hand turns to stone. Clive died on that beach. Jill knows it because she sees the red dot that symbolized Clive throughout the entire game fade out, and we see her run off crying. Gav understands what Jill has discovered, and he begins to mourn the loss of Clive as well. Now, Jill and Torgal go outside, and we see Jill smile as the sun comes up. I feel like this was because the skies had cleared up and the sun was shining now, and Jill knew that the planet was going to be okay and eventually heal. So what about Joshua? And what about the bonus scene at the end of these credits? I feel like Joshua also died. I feel like all of the magic in the world was lost with Ultima and Clive, and the bonus scene shows the new world after these events took place. The book on the table, I feel, could be the journal that Joshua was keeping throughout this game that has somehow survived and been passed down to new generations. I don't think they're trying to say this game was all a kid reading a book. I think the kids are reading a book that was at one time real, but now seems like a fairy tale. There's obviously a lot of room for interpretation with the ending of this game, and this one is mine. So, fun factor. Was the game fun? Was it entertaining? Simple answer is yes. The game was fun to play. It was entertaining and engaging. Even when I was complaining about the onion sword and crafting materials, the game was still fun. It is difficult to finish a 30-plus hour game if you aren't enjoying it or having fun playing it. Don't be fooled by anyone that says otherwise. It helps to have characters that are relatable and engaging and a storyline that keeps you interested and intrigued to learn more. So yes, this game was fun to play. It was very fun and very entertaining. I was quite pleased with it. Replayability. So the game is super fun. It's fun and all, but it's also a tight linear game experience. They have added some additional content for people that have completed the game, raised the level cap, added a new weapon called the Ultima Sword, but the story and the gameplay are going to be the exact same. You will go to the exact same places, fight the exact same mobs, and interact with the exact same people, with the same dialogue and cinematics. I don't feel like I would go back and replay this game regardless of the mobs being more difficult and having a new sword. I'm not that anxious to loot another 30 hours of crafting materials. Although I will probably load it back up just to get a look at that Ultima Sword. I'm betting it is the Onion Sword graphic with better stats, and that would kill any future ambitions of replaying the game for me. Well, Gamer-san, that's my take on Final Fantasy 16. I enjoyed playing the game and trying to relay my experience to you. I hope you enjoyed the game as well as I hope you made it through all the videos and kept up with the story. It's a good one. It's a really good one. If you were entertained, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like to remain entertained, click on the notification bell as I have new games in the works coming up soon. Also, go ahead and smack that like button around to support my channel so I can brag about my awesome and amazing subscribers. Thank you all for supporting my channel. I appreciate you and everything you have done. I will see you in the next adventure. See ya. I'm going to go ahead and load up the bonus clip right here, and we'll finish the credits when it's done. Enjoy.
Every time.
Will you light it?
Yes, Mother. Come on. If only I had the flames for an Eikon.
Eikon? Have you been reading that silly story again? Magic belongs in fairy tales, and fairy tales don't boil kettles. You see? Well done. Now, be a good lad, and play with your brother until supper.
Come on, hurry! Hurry! All right.